Good evening, everyone. I would like to call this meeting to order. At this time, I invite everyone to please stand for the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you. Please be seated. I'd like to start off with a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge with respect that we are gathered on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe Nation, the people of the Three Fires, known as Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi nations. We give thanks to the Chippewas of Saugeen and Chippewas of Nawash, known collectively as the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, the traditional keepers of these lands and waters since time immemorial. To our south lies the traditional territories of the Six Nations of the Grand River and the Haudenosaunee. We are dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture and committed to moving forward in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and friendship with all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. Good evening, everyone. My name is Randy Schertzer, and I have the privilege of serving as the Chief Administrative Officer for Grey County. It is my honor to welcome all of you to this very special occasion, the Grey County Inaugural Meeting. A very warm welcome to County Council, past wardens, senior management team, dedicated staff, esteemed guests, and to all members of the viewing public joining us this evening. Your presence and engagement are truly appreciated as we mark another important milestone where Grey County Council comes together to appoint the warden for the final year of this term of council. The appointment of warden is a critical responsibility as they serve as the head of council and acts as the chief executive officer of the county. This role provides leadership, presides over council meetings to ensure business is carried out efficiently, and represents Grey County at official functions and events throughout this great county of ours and beyond. The warden is also a key advocate for rural priorities at the provincial and federal levels, ensuring that Grey County's voice is heard on issues like housing, infrastructure, and economic development. This position requires dedication, integrity, and a deep understanding of the needs of our communities across Grey County. On behalf of the senior management team, we look forward to continuing to work with the warden and this council to advance council's strategic priorities during the final year of this term of council. I'll now turn over the meeting to Grey County's clerk, Tara Warder, to complete the roll call.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. Councillor Mackey, Councillor McKay, Councillor Carlton, Councillor Pringle, Councillor McQueen, Councillor Nielsen, Councillor Patterson, Councillor Dickert, Councillor Kentner, Councillor Keaveney, Councillor Body, Councillor Gregg sends his regrets this evening, Councillor Milne, Councillor Dobreen, Councillor Matrosovs, Councillor Bourdignon, Councillor Eccles, and Councillor Hutchison also sent his regrets this evening. The procedures that we will be following for this meeting are set out in the county's procedural bylaw. The deadline for nominations was November the 25th, 2025 at noon, with one nomination having been received. I will ask the candidate their intention to run for office. Each nominator of the candidate will then be entitled to speak in support of their candidate, and the procedural bylaw limits each nominator to 5 minutes. Because the warden will be acclaimed at this evening's meeting, the purpose of today's meeting is to swear in your Grey County Head of Council and the Grey County Warden for the 2025-2026 year. It is the role of Head of Council to act as the CEO of the municipality, to preside over council meetings so its business can be carried out effectively and efficiently, and to provide leadership to the council and to represent the municipality. At this time, I need a motion to elect the warden for a one-year term. Is there a mover and a seconder for that? Councillor Keaveney, mover. Is there a seconder? Councillor Patterson, all in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Seeing none, that is carried. Confirmation of nominations. Nominations were received in writing for the Grey County Warden as follows. For Councillor Andrea Matrasov, moved by Councillor Keaveney and seconded by Councillor Body. Councillor Matrasov, do you wish to have your name stand for Grey County Warden?
I do.
Thank you. I will first ask Councillor Keaveney, followed by Councillor Body, to come to the lectern and provide comments in support of your candidate.
Good evening, everyone. Past Warden Matrasovs, members of Grey County Council, CAO Scherzer, Grey County staff, and our esteemed guests. Welcome to this prestigious occasion. We are here to celebrate the acclamation of Councillor Andrea Matrasovs for her second term as Warden of Grey County. It is my absolute honor to nominate Councillor Andrea Matrasovs, Mayor of the town of the Blue Mountains, to lead Grey County Council through the final year of this term. Acclaimed in 2025 and again for 2026, it is my pleasure to speak to just a few of Councillor Matrasovs' accomplishments and to share some accolades. During the year 2025, the third of our term, Councillor Matrasovs is only the third female warden in the county's history, following Lois Erstadt, warden in 1982, and Arlene Wright, who wore the warden's chain of office in 2010 and 2011. Councillor Matrasovs is also the third ever representative from the town of the Blue Mountains to lead our great county. I believe we would all agree Warden Matrasovs proved herself to be an exceptional leader of this council throughout 2025. Wikipedia defines leadership as a matter of intelligence, trustworthiness, humaneness, courage, and discipline, the ability to influence or to guide others. Councillor Matrasovs has demonstrated all of these qualities over the past year and throughout her impressive career. We have heard Councillor Matrasovs reference her time as a teacher, which we all know is how she keeps our meetings running so smoothly. Until I requested her CV, I really had no idea how many other professional experiences Andrea has to her credit. Just to name a few, most recently in January of 2025, Councillor Matrasovs achieved her Master of Arts degree in Interdisciplinary Studies with her final project entitled The Social Learning Process, Barriers and Enablers in the Paradigm Shift to Adopt Municipal Natural Asset Management in Canada. Wow, I want to read the book when it comes out, Andrea. Councillor Matrasovs has taken courses in how to assess, measure, manage, and evaluate the impact of operations, organizations, development initiatives, social interventions, and public policies. Also, she has studied how climate action and asset management can best fit together for municipalities. Councillor Matrasovs is a consummate volunteer, having been involved with over 25 organizations. She has been elected or appointed to 11 nonprofit boards. I find this particularly interesting. In 2009, Councillor Matrasovs trained and served as a Canadian volunteer, acting as an international observer for the election in El Salvador in consultation with the Canadian ambassador and other community organizations in El Salvador. Incredible. As we know, the role of warden is to lead county council and to represent the county at official events. The warden presides over council meetings, ensuring business is conducted effectively and efficiently. Councillor Matrasovs does so much more than this. In fact, she has taken on so many additional commitments that I don't know how you do it all, Andrea. Councillor Matrasovs is gracious, dedicated, hardworking, and is a great advocate for the priorities of this council. At every conference, Andrea is in front of ministers delegating for funding to meet the increasing challenges of operating the services Grey County Council residents expect. Councillor Matrosovs is well respected by everyone she works with. She is ambitious, thoughtful, aggressive, and proactive. She always has the best interests of Grey County residents at heart as she makes her decisions. Recalling past Warden Duncan McKinley, also from TBM, he referenced the role of warden as a solemn responsibility. I believe Councillor Matrosovs demonstrates her strong ethics every single day. She is a person of high integrity, and she embodies the mantra of kindness that TBM is noted for in everything she does. Andrea is bold while being practical, passionate, and pragmatic. Ms. Matrosovs has advocated for working together to meet our shared challenges. I know how important it is to Andrea to help others, to make every day in Grey County better for someone who has struggled, whether it's supporting more supportive housing projects, investing in long-term care, namely our new Rockwood Terrace, now 50% complete, continuing funding for Grey County Transit, advocating for increased SOS services, or supporting funding the purchase of the Diamond Motel to keep our unhoused warm over long, cold winter nights. Merriam-Webster defines a politician as a person experienced in the art or science of government, one actively engaged in conducting the business of government. This definition holds very true for our tireless leader. Andrea understands the intricacies of governing, how to lead with grace and grit. 2025 has brought this council many challenges, particularly increasing financial pressures in these times of uncertainty. Councillor Matrosovs faces these situations by thinking first of the residents who will be impacted by our decisions. I admire her focus and her resilience. Barack Obama stated that change is brought about because ordinary people do extraordinary things. When we look back at 2025, we can certainly say that positive changes have happened in Grey. Our growth, our recognition on the international stage, our progress in supporting our vulnerable, and our commitment to long-term care, all under the unwavering leadership of Warden Matrosovs, who has kept us working together collaboratively to keep the mission of a bright future for Grey at the center of every decision. Grey County is fortunate to be moving forward into 2026 under the leadership of incoming Warden Matrosovs. We will be represented extremely well by Andrew's experience and her wisdom. I wish us a great year and continued good health to all as we embark on the excitement of new challenges and successes. Grey County really is the place to live our best lives. Thank you very much.
Councillor Body, please.
Good evening, fellow councillors, great Grey County staff, past wardens, families, and guests. It's always great to see so many people in the room. It's great to see so many people in the room that aren't carrying pitchforks and protest signs. And this is one of these nice nights that we look forward to that. I'm very honored to be asked to second this nomination. It's always an honor to stand up here and nominate or second a nomination. I've done this twice before. It's my third time. I want to thank all of my fellow councillors on behalf of Andrea for not challenging this nomination. I'm 0 for 2 my previous times. And if I went 0 for 3, that would be like, what, a hat trick of shutouts, and I'd have to start thinking about getting out of politics. As all of you know, and as all of you constantly think about the Municipal Act, and you'll know that this is Section 225, of course. One of the roles of the head of council is to act as chief executive officer of the municipality. And under Section 226.1, which all of you, of course, will have memorized, as chief executive officer of the municipality, the head of council shall act as a representative of the municipality both within and outside the municipality and promote the municipality locally, nationally, and internationally, participate in and foster activities that enhance the economic, social, environmental well-being of the municipality and its residents. And you'd almost think that was written for Andrea. In addition to her duties, the Western Ontario Wardens Caucus, the Grey Bruce Public Health Unit Board, Bruce Grey Poverty Task Force, she has represented the town of Blue Mountains, Grey County, and the province of Ontario as a Great Lakes and St. Lawrence Cities Initiative Board Director, the regional lead for Simcoe Grey, Georgian Bay, and Ontario, chair for Commissioner on Water Equity, with a chair from Quebec and 2 chairs from the state side of the Great Lakes. She has represented the Grey County. Oh, I'm doing this. She's represented the Great Lakes Cities Initiative, Ontario members at the Leadership Summit with Great Lakes Cities governors and premiers meeting. So meeting with the governors and the premiers from around representing all of us. I think we're all aware in 2023, she was a delegate at COP 28, is one of only 6 Canadian mayors of 150 selected worldwide to participate in the inaugural subnational level local climate action summit. Councillor Matrasovs has led us in breaking ground and breaking down old barriers, building new relationships with the Indigenous community within Grey Bruce and far beyond, meeting and building relationships with chiefs from Chippewas of Nawash Unceded First Nation, Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, with Anishinaabe, National Grand Council Chief Linda Tabasig, and other chiefs from Kawanaki in the South Shore of Montreal to Garden Rivers First Nation Sault Ste. Marie. These are great examples of fostering activities that enhance the social, environmental, and well-being of the municipality of its residents. Nobody in Grey County or this area has done quite this type of work nationally, internationally as warden, and it brings a lot of respect to our area, to our communities. So I'm very happy to second the nomination of Warden Matrasovs tonight to continue as Ward of Grey County for the next year. And I thank her for her leadership the previous year. Thank you.
Thank you. Having heard from the nominators, I'm pleased to announce that the warden for 2025-2026 is Warden Andrea Matrasovs. This time, if I could invite you to the front to recite the oath of office. Sorry, you're good.
I, Andrea Matrasovs, having been elected or appointed to the office of warden in the county of Grey, do solemnly promise and declare that I will be truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received or will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. And I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty, the King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
At this time, can I call on past Warden Milne to present the chain of office?
Well, I'm having to rearrange everything here like I haven't been here before. Savannah, would you mind moving that chair beside you a little bit so I can see my granddaughter? Thank you. I promised myself this time a year ago. I was so nervous. I promised this time that I would remind myself I'm just sitting in a circle full of friends, friends and colleagues, family, and great people to work with. But I will, out of formality, thank Madam Clerk, our County Council colleagues, distinguished past wardens, CAO and staff, our citizens of Grey County, and a special welcome to my family for being here to share this moment in our Grey County history together. I am but one voice. I am a voice speaking here in that circle of friends and colleagues and expert staff and family members and everyone from all the organizations and all the people who form our County of Grey. I am just that one voice. I am humbled by the words that you plucked from my resume, which I did not share terribly willingly, but offered because I can only do those things when there is the support of these 18 voices that are sitting around this horseshoe. It is all of us. If I am successful here locally, federally, regionally, provincially, it is because people are listening, because they know that I am speaking on behalf of our entire county and each and every one of you and the contributions you make to elevate that voice. Last year, I shared that 24 and a half years ago, my father found this History of Grey County, 1931, a reprint to give to me when I bought my empty parcel of land back in 2001. Little did he know, or I know, that I would be sitting here in this spot with these honored colleagues beside me today, forging our county and its communities. I respect this history, and I recognize that we are part of shaping a future that may tread the same way, but will also break barriers and walk a new path. There are three things that I think about when I think about sitting here with all of you. The first is that we are stronger together locally. We represent 109,000 people, including members of our own home communities. We share in the stewardship of thousands of square kilometers of lands and waters within our county. I have delighted in this past year visiting all 9 municipalities and meeting with you as your mayors and deputy mayors of your community, attending events, meeting members of your community. Each municipality has its uniqueness in its celebrations and challenges and opportunities. At the county table, I do not hear competition when we discuss the present and future of our county and the decisions that weigh heavily upon each and every one of our shoulders. Even after spirited debate, I hear unison in a collective of heads and hearts moving forward with delivering services to our residents and sharing in the stewardship of our lands and waters. Making sound choices for both the present and our future. My personal guiding principle since 2018, since being first elected, is to create a home and a community for all ages and stages of life. And here, I hear it and see it in the thoughtfulness of each decision made at this table together. Secondly, we are committed partners with our neighbors beyond our county boundaries. Deputy and past warden, last year, I committed to you that I would continue your engagement to building our relationships with our First Nations partners and neighbors in a learning journey and a path to reconciliation. So yes, thanking the words of my nominators, you've heard some of the activities that I've been doing. This year, I met with Chief Ritchie of the Chippewas of Saugeen, the former Chief Najawan of the Chippewas of Nawash, and Acting Chief Jessica Quiche of Martin, as well as meeting for the first time Chief Hill of the Six Nations Grand River Haudenosaunee. And at our meaningful September 30th gathering at Grey Roots Museum was the start of a friendship with Mictoon and Robin, and a chance to see Lenore again. And now, for the first time, after practicing, I am now able to introduce myself in Anishinaabe-Moan. It is a pathway that will take a lifetime, but I owe all of you gratitude for inviting me to take this role and to build our county relations with our First Nations neighbors, with whom we share stewardship of this land and these waters. And so now, in addition to that history of Grey, which I hold very close to my heart, because it came from my father and because it comes from all of our communities and the shared history that we have, I've added to it. I have to show you this. I went to the First Nations, the Indigenous market just recently at the Friendship Center, the Miwikwiton Friendship Center, and this owl spoke to me. This owl is made of sumac, which harkens back to the days that I grew up with a little cottage with our family. And I spoke to the artist who made it up at Nawash about the time he takes to select the sumac, dry it out carefully, and carve it. So he had an array of these animals, and this one particular owl spoke to me. I think it is the wisdom of the owl that I like to think guides us. I know collectively owls are known as a parliament, so I think of us when I think of this owl. But this is a piece of Nawash that comes to us as neighbors to our county. And I hold it with as much as I do with this book, that this is the guiding moment. These are the kinds of thoughts that will take us forward into how we build our relations together. Finally, we uphold the voice of rural and small town communities in our region, in our province, and our country, far beyond our neighbors. As warden, I am uplifted to support and represent the county in a wider dialogue through the Great Lakes and St. Lawrence Cities Initiative and through the Western Ontario Wardens Caucus with CAO Schertzer. When I am meeting with regional colleagues, provincial MPPs, ministers, and MPs in Ottawa, I am speaking not just with the voice of our 9 municipalities, but for small towns and rural communities from all over Ontario in the Great Lakes watershed. Beside the big city mayors and MPPs and MPs from other areas of the province, it is important that we bring that rural lens to the table. So I circle back in conclusion to our own county. I want to take a moment to acknowledge with deep respect the wardens, the past wardens that are present here today. I thank you for welcoming me into the fold, offering advice, and for the work that you have done to create a great Grey County for us to continue building. And to my county colleagues here in the Horseshoe and our staff alongside, I thank you for the common vision that we share. And to Councillor Bourdignon, you have demonstrated your support for me in this role by stepping up back home, being a friend and a colleague, a sound person to talk to. Thank you for your continued help in staying dedicated to both our Blue Mountains and our county communities. And I recognize tonight my home community is also represented by, I see our CAO and our clerk right there too. As we sit here together and move forward into the next year, I believe we uphold what John Ilkington calls the 3 Ps. A sustainable effort to make sure that we are looking after our people, our planet, and our prosperity. He wrote that decades ago, urging corporations and businesses to make every decision count in all 3 of those pillars of sustainability. But just because it was born out of a phrase and born out of a movement that came from the profit sector doesn't mean that we don't live by those same standards. As we do our work here at the county, we consider that lens each and every time. For example, we provide housing to those in need, and not just temporary, but help them towards a pathway to find permanent housing for themselves and for their families. That's social sustainability. We share in the stewardship principles and take action against climate change in our Going Green and Grey plan, whether it's reducing our emissions or empowering our residents to make good choices to be able to help towards climate change. That's environmental sustainability. And we carefully weigh the financial needs of the present years with reserves and asset management of the future to take care of what we have now, but also think about what we are going to pass on to our future councils and our future generations, like my grandchildren here. I thank you for truly embracing the environmental, social, and economic needs of our county and what our generations, 7 generations from now, will need. So tonight, there is one more thank you. I am wearing again what I wore last year and what I wore when I became mayor back in 2022, the pearls of my great-grandmother. And I described her story last year, along with the earrings from my grandmother on my other side. They were both born in a time when women could not vote. And tonight, here I am, bringing their legacy with me of hard work and endurance. What they did, the generations, what they did before, the female past wardens that we have here in the room, they all took steps ahead of me. I am only adding to that journey, and I will leave the pathway for those of the future. So in this last year, I said the decision to accept the nomination to warden is a family decision. It's a family commitment. Whether those who have helped me in the past, or my mother who is still here, my husband, my children, my daughter, and my son, and their families, and my grandchildren, they are all here to remind us of what we do each and every day. We get up in the morning and we think, how can we make this world a better place? How can we make this county a better place for the next people who come after us? And we're thinking about that generation, and we're thinking about that one that's sitting right there. So thank you to all of you. I could not do this job without you. I am grateful. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Miigwech. So back to our formalities then, I will ask for a motion to adopt the warden's address. Moved by Councillor Bourdignon, seconded by Councillor Dobreen. Any discussion? All those in favor? That motion is carried. Before we go on to a few more remarks and introductions, this is my moment in the agenda where I can circle back to the nominations. Thank you, Councillor Keaveney and Councillor Body, for the words that you spoke today. I, out of reassurance, tucked a Kleenex into my pocket, and so far I haven't had to use it. I am encouraged to work by you, and I'm grateful that you have offered to put my name forward this evening. The work we do here and the work that we do in all the other ways in which we work together with the city's initiative as neighboring municipalities is very important to me, and I appreciate that as much as I appreciated Councillor Dobreen and Councillor Eccles for nominating me last year. Next, we have an introduction of family and friends and municipal council and staff that are here this evening. So I mentioned a few in my opening remarks. My mother Ursula is there. My son James, my husband Chris, my son-in-law Adam, my granddaughter Isabella, and my daughter Anna have all come for the ceremony. And this evening at the reception, you'll have a delight of also meeting my grandson Sebastian and his mother, my daughter-in-law, who will be coming to join us shortly. We have, as I mentioned, and I want to make sure I didn't forget anybody back there, but I see our clerk from the town of Blue Mountains, Karina Giles, and I see our CAO, Adam Smith, also attending and representing the Blue Mountains alongside our Deputy Mayor, Peter Bourdignon. Thank you very much for coming. And I will note too, as we talked about our regional collectivity, that I'm very honored and very pleased to see Dave Shorey representing Georgian College here tonight. It is certainly a partnership that resonates both locally and in the regional picture. And we are so much better for having Georgian College in the heart of our county. Okay. And CAO Schertzer, do you want to do any introductions of staff?
Thank you for that. And again, congratulations, Board Mattress House. So maybe I'll get those in the audience that are with us today. So we have our Director of Transportation Services, Pat Hoy. We have our Deputy Clerk, Brittany. Now Lobley, our Deputy CAO. Director of IT Services, Jody McEachran. Our Director of Legal Services, Jacqueline. Our Director of Economic Development, Tourism, and Culture, Savannah. Our Director of HR, Jen Moreau. Our Director of Planning and Development, Scott Taylor. And our Director of Finance, Mary Lou Spicer. Of course, we have our County Clerk, Tara Warder. Somebody in the back, of course, our Executive Advisor, Kayla Ryer. And Ted Noble. Welcome, Ted. Anyone else I'm missing? Sorry. And Rob Hatton, oh my goodness. And Olivia, who are hiding in the corner there, that are making sure that we're running our comms and keeping us on track. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, CEO. And with that, we'd like to offer now the floor to share remarks on behalf of the past wardens and make the introductions of the past wardens. We would like to invite Rod Knott to come speak. And I must say, it's been a pleasure getting to know Rod over the past year as we have seen each other at numerous events now. So thank you for being here.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here to offer remarks from the past wardens, to bring greetings on behalf, and I appreciate the honor. Warden Matrashovs, we congratulate you on your council, you and your council on the undertaking of your commitment of the new Rockwood Terrace home in Durham, commencement of new paramedic centers to what's in need, and acquiring homeless accommodations who are less fortunate and need shelter. You need first young and old. Challenges make better politicians and good decisions. We encourage you to support our neighbors in Simcoe County on the attempt by the federal government to destroy some of the best farmland in Ontario when they already have suitable land in the very near area. I had to put that in. Politicians could. Warden Andrea, we wish you well in your next year as Warden of Grey. The best county in Ontario with agriculture, tourism, shoreline, mountains, rivers, wonderful people that are the envy of everyone. May you continue to support the entire county with the people of Grey in mind, with positive actions and programs for all. I would like this time to acknowledge the past wardens who are in attendance. And on the end, we have Lois Ersted, warden in 1982. The Holiday, warden in 2016. Arlene Wright, warden in 2010 and 2011. And around the circle, we have some wardens that continue to serve the county. Kevin Eccles, 2008, 2009, and 2015. Paul McQueen, 2020. And Brian Millen, 2014 and 2023. And they put up with me in 2001. So at this time, I am going to bring greetings of the season from all the wardens to everyone, and may your county enjoy programs of strong, forward thinking and political decisions in 2026. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind words and your ongoing friendship, as I'm now part of the group and have a pin to prove it. So at this time, the clerk has charged me with a few notes to share with our guests. Following the adjournment of this meeting, there will be a reception down in the lower lobby. The washrooms on this level are just outside the chamber doors, right through those two double doors there, or at the back of the building on the lower level. There is an elevator to the left of the chamber doors. And council members will be asked to remain briefly in the chambers in the center of the horseshoe for a group photo. And because we didn't have any voting, there is no need to destroy any ballots. So that allows us to move on to the motion to adjourn. May I ask for a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Nielsen, seconded by Councillor Carlton. Any discussion? All those in favor? And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for attending, and we look forward to talking with you downstairs, and we'll be down momentarily after our photo. Thank you.